I do economics news, and I think it is really important to learn more about the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, because it's something that's developing, and the more you know about a subject, different aspects of it, the more you're able to tell better stories because you have more information about what you're talking about.
I have been very, very interested, and we have done a lot of stories on it, and coming here again made it possible for me to get the status report on the implementation of AfCFTA. We have organized a lecture on this AfCFTA, and we looked at how it's going to impact on the oil and gas sector in the country. And the information I have received here also tallies with what the experts are saying in my country. And then when I get back, I'm going to continue to work on stories and publish stories that will help to educate Africans, sensitize people on the need to key into the AfCFTA program.
This is actually my fourth training, and I've seen the ECA putting ideas into action. The AfCFTA has become a huge phenomenon for Africa, and for journalists to be working and giving people the right information. We really need to be equipped with the information which can give to the people back home, especially when you go back to Zimbabwe. You talk of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, not many people know about it, but with the kind of information we are getting and the knowledge we get on how to disseminate that information, I think it will be quite important for the people to understand everything about the AfCFTA.
I've learned a lot. From here, I'm going to follow up on stories about the AfCFTA because of the knowledge I've acquired. To the organizers of the workshop, I say thank you for imparting me with knowledge and skill on reporting AfCFTA. And going forward, I wish more journalists in the African region could be given this opportunity to attend such a workshop and just earn the knowledge and skill that they need to report effectively on AfCFTA.
I was able to make contacts with all the other journalists. For example, the Mauritius Broadcasting Corporation. We can tie up with the Namibian Broadcasting Corporation, with the Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation to work together and bring about and work on a documentary for the African Continental Free Trade Agreement.
The workshop was fruitful and important, especially since Ethiopia is one of the key stakeholders participation in the AfCFTA, so that as a journalist from Ethiopia, it's important to have a knowledge on the issue so that we can galvanize them for the better inclusive implementation and operation of the agreement. Also, beside all of this, the workshop was helping us to build a network between us and the other African journalists who are working on the issue, and it was important and fruitful.
Training journalists to communicate the importance of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area is extremely important. So far, a lot has been done, but a lot more needs to be done, particularly in getting journalists to understand that they are not only communicating to the elites, but they are also communicating to ordinary citizens, considering the fact also that in Africa, almost 80% of the economy is informal. Women and other men who cross borders from one country to the other to buy goods and sell in their countries. It's important that journalists understand the full ambit of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area and learn the nuances and develop the necessary communication tools and language so they can disseminate information about the Africa Continental Free Trade Area in a way that it does not just reach the elite, but also reach ordinary people in rural areas, in urban centers, who would not normally pay attention to conversations around the Continental Free Trade Area. So this training is important, it's necessary, and it's indeed significant in driving towards achieving these communication objectives.
I am CEO of my own magazine, Real Equatorial Guinea, and I also represented my country as a journalist. This workshop was very nice, very good opportunity for us as journalists for the development of Africa. And this workshop was also help us as a journalist to make a very quality report in our different countries. I also want to say thank you for the opportunity, ECA, for that opportunity to give us as a journalist.
It has really enlightened me on what the African free trade means to the continent. It's something that I heard of before, but I didn't know how many countries have signed, how important it is to a country like South Sudan. If our government commit themselves to implementing this agreement, our people are going to gain economically.
From here we'll be able to know and then track our own countries, what is it that they are doing so that they can be free movement of goods and services and then free trade, so that we all can make the Africa that we want.
Invigorating and illuminating. It was my pleasure to deliver the keynote address, The Power of the Story, which really encourages journalists to write about how the issues affect people. Financial journalism, trade journalism, business journalism is essentially about people. And I got such wonderful feedback from my second presentation, which was about how libel law or defamation law affects journalists and how they can protect themselves. I like to say that journalism is an international language because the fundamental principles travel well. And I encourage the journalists and bloggers who attended this workshop to collaborate, remain in touch. You can't do it alone. Together you are stronger.
For the last 3 days, I have got a lot of information about the African Free Trade Continental Agreement and its opportunity and its challenges. As an Ethiopian journalist, I am trying to give more information about the African Free Trade Continental Agreement and its opportunities and challenges for Ethiopia.
One important thing that the workshop has been able to generate is the creation of a network of journalists whose beat has to do with this free trade area. The workshop also provided them with the understanding of the technicalities that are involved in the process of growing this agency in Africa for the benefit of Africa, so that journalists, we know that it is important for them to be supportive of what is ours, instead of just relying on what is imported or what is foreign to us.